with the cat dragged in. I don't know who all remembers this old puppy, but this was a truck I've had pretty much the whole time since I started YouTube. I sold it and then I bought it back. So this is the old Paul, that's what we called it. Did a few burnouts in this old girl. The back tires are bald, the front tires are a little less than half life. That's the first thing I ever built out of steel, was that roof rack. It's got some aux beam light bars. It's got I think a 42 inch on front and a 22 inch on the rear. It's got some plasma cut RBG logos, and the reason for these stubs hanging down was I use these 150cc A-arms, upper A-arms, and I have a shock that goes in here, so you know, frames twist on trucks, so I could have a solid mount to keep the roof rack from, you know, it's really for looks, to be honest. Let's face it, I wanted a bigger roof rack to hang over the toolbox, so I have some shocks in the garage that we're going to install, put on here, and they look pretty sweet. And it allows, when I twist the frame, you can see them moving the A-arms. Really, they don't even need a shock, they just needed this pivot point, but the shock just, like I said, looks cool. Also got a backup camera that is not hooked up, right above that light bar that I can flip on, and then it has an actual backup camera on the tag, I believe. Yeah, that's where that quadracer sticker is held up. That's a good quality sticker. But I've had this truck for years, and like I said, I sold it for about a year. As soon as I bought my new F-150, I sold it, and I bought it back from my old mall. So it sat for a long time, and now it wouldn't start when I went up there. It's got the fuel injection 5.8 in it, and it's 4-wheel drive. I put like the Warren locking hubs. I did a lot of maintenance to this truck before I sold it to them, but I'm pretty sure the fuel pressure regulator has went out. So here's the new one. If you have certain year Fords, they have a 3-bolt flange, and they bolt from underneath, and they're extremely hard to get to. This one's going to be a quick 5-10 minute job. I just got to let the pressure off the fuel rail and pull the old one off and slap the new one on. Oh, look at that high performance dirt breathing son of a gun. So like I said, this is the 5.8. It is pretty much bone stock, got a little exhaust leak, and the fuel pressure regulator is right back there with that red line going into it. So not bad to get to. So we'll get this swapped out and see what happens. We just pull the vacuum line. Like I said, you want to let out the pressure off your fuel rail, which is that little black nub sticking up right there. So it's like an air fitting. So what I'm going to do is pull the fuel pump fuse, which is right under this air filter. Pull the fuel pump fuse, and I'm going to turn the truck over a little bit, which should relieve the pressure, and then I'm going to push down on that little air valve and hopefully release the rest. All right. So I pulled that relay for the fuel pump, and I'm going to turn it over a little bit. So now that we've did that, you can take this little cap off. So like I said, it's like an air valve on a tire. Just going to shove paper towels all the way around it. So now that I got that paper towel around this, I'm going to take a Allen. Yeah, there is no pressure left in that puppy. Make sure this will spray fuel out if you are under pressure, so make sure you don't have any pressure on that. Now I can put my fuel pump relay back in. Alright, now we can shut this puppy. So one thing, all this wire mess here, there's a box over here and junk, it's for this light bar. Now this light bar it looks like it's a little foggy on that side, but this has the RGBs in it. I never cared about that, I just wanted a light bar. So I'm going to be replacing this with a off-road LED bars light bar, because I don't like all that LED junk. Like, I don't want to be able to change colors on that, it's pointless. This isn't a party truck, so we will be swapping that out. So we'll be doing a giveaway on this. This is like a very expensive light bar, and they sent it to us back in the day, but like I said, it's got water in it. We can pull that apart, run a bead of silicone around the rim, put it back together, and she'll be good as gold. So now I'm gonna climb my fat hiney up in there and swap out that regulator. It's right behind this line where that little red line's coming in. So I'll get it swapped up and we'll see what she'll do. So I had two 4mm hex head bolts in it, and we got her swapped out. You can see the new one Now the battery is pretty worn down from where I was cranking on it. It is a good battery, but I cranked on it quite a bit. So now we're gonna let the fuel pump prime a couple times and see if she starts. Wish us luck. She still ain't turning over or starting. You know, it's a Ford, so it takes a little tinkering. So we're gonna mess with this for a little bit, let my truck charge it, and find out what in the world's going on with it.
Several days later.
Jeepers. Looks like we're in Ontario. Look at our neat little puppy. Look at her, she's so cute. She needs a haircut. That is Marshall. She is a female that's 6 years old. And she's the new love of my life.
Hey!
She is a little sweetheart. Tried to get her groomed up today and they canceled on her. So, where we left off with this, I did the fuel pressure regulator. Guess what? Didn't fix it. But, you know, cheap part, probably needed it anyways. So then, me and Daniel worked together as a team, got the plugs changed. Guess what? Didn't fix it, but they needed it. It was really bad. So, one of my buddies from the old Ford dealership when I worked there said that he's seen with these, you know, this don't have too much, for fuel injection, don't have too much electronics, but he has said that he has found that the temp sensor, which is located right under here, so dual barrel intake, can go bad. That one right there. This right there. So he said they're known to go bad, and when they go bad, they go bad. They can make it think it's real. Ooh, look at the crust on that puppy. See all that build up? Oh, that's gel. Never mind. We're good. All right, we the same? Yes. So we're gonna put this in. Should be a quick, you know, process. You know, it's one of those things. This is a 95, so it does not have the. Oh, come on, hose clamp keeping my socket from going on there. It doesn't have an OBD2. It's OBD1. So if anybody knows about OBD1, they're garbage. They don't do nothing. So hopefully, good Lord is willing, and the creek don't rise. Oh, look at that! Look how bad that was. That is a good sign. Look at all that corrosion. That's all corrosion. Oh yeah, brand new temp sensor. Right. Oh man, that'd be sick if this fixed it. You know, I found that no matter if I'm doing plumbing on a car or plumbing in a house, my butt crack is always out. My brother actually worked on a Chevy one time, and he said he did everything in the world, could not figure out what was wrong with it. Another guy came over, 2 minutes, pulled that sensor out after Brandon had spent like 20 hours working on the thing, and replaced that sensor, and it fixed it. So, and Brandon said when I told him this morning, he was like, you know what, that just now popped in my head. He said, I was going to tell you that. Sure, Brandon. Sure you was. Right when I figured it all out. There. Hey guys, still working on the Ford. So the intake temp sensor was extremely bad. Did we show it?
I think so.
It was crazy gummed up. I guarantee this intake manifold is stupid gummed up. So we got a new one. Of course, all the new parts are all plastic, which are stupid. Do I think this is going to make a difference? Absolutely not. How about the neighbors getting a beautiful view right now? I got about 3 inches of butt crack showing. Okay, so after spending a little bit of money on this truck, I finally determined what the problem is. So like I said, when I got it back from my mom, it was dead, so we boosted it off. It would not start. We had to start it with ether. I burnt all the arm hair off of myself. I have no hair on that arm. I had to shave it. If you compare to this arm and the hairiness, you can tell. But so basically could not get it start without ether. Once it started, it idled fine. It seemed like it was running. Lonnie was following me back. We stopped and filled up the tank because it's pretty much empty, and put new gas in it, and it just would not run. Like, you could cruise at 40 mile an hour, but if you pulled out in front of someone, you might as well pull in the emergency lane because it would not accelerate. More than quarter throttle, it fall on its face. So I went right to fuel, replaced the fuel pressure regulator, and that did not fix it. Then we did the plugs. They was horrible, which I showed you guys, and then we did those two sensors. We even tried a map sensor too, by the way. One of my buddies works at Ford. He had a spare one. We plugged it up, did not help. So after reading on forums, people seem to have this exact problem. Could not start unless they use ether, and idling extremely rich. And they said that this same problem makes you not be able to shift in first gear, your transmission, which was also a problem with this truck since I got it back from my mom. When I would try to go drive it after a test messing with parts, basically it would not pull my heel because it was in second gear and spitting so bad. So what we found out is the ECM was actually bad. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. This capacitor there is bad. That one's bad, as well as that one. Now, these isn't hard to fix. You can just solder these out, put a new one in, solder them in. You can actually buy a kit of capacitors off Amazon, really cheap, like 15 bucks. But I'm going to go ahead and get a brand new one because this one's leaked and corroded some of this chip right here. So I'm just going to replace it with a new one from, or a remanufactured one from Napa. I don't know if you can tell how bad those has been leaking. So that is awesome that we figured that out. It seems like everybody has the same exact issues that is related to these capacitors. Like I said, instead of replacing it, since it's all over that chip and got corrosion on it, we're just going to replace it. So the ECM in this truck is located right there on the firewall. I don't know if you can see that, but here's the plug for it. The plug basically has one 10mm bolt in the middle that keeps the bulkhead plugged up to it. And then once you unplug this, you move it out of the way. There's two 12mm, one on top, one on bottom nuts. Once you pull those, you got to drop your inner fender. You can see I've been wanting to take this chrome crap off forever. So, but if you drop your inner fender, just a bunch of 5.5mm little bolts, and then one 10mm bolt holding this big washer on, and then you can drop your inner fender, push. That gives you enough room to slide the ECM out. So ECM's coming Saturday. It is currently Thursday, so you can see that hole. Hope you can see that right there. Right there's where she came out. So it's coming on Saturday. We'll get this puppy replaced, and hopefully this thing is going to run better than it ever has. So I'm pretty excited about replacing all these parts. Everything we replaced needed to be replaced, so it's not like we replaced anything that didn't need to be done. So put the top back on because I do have to turn this in for a core, pick up my tools, and we'll see you on Saturday. Hey, she's running. So the ECM fixed this truck and it runs awesome. I didn't film putting it on. I mean, literally you just drop the inner fender right there and a couple 12mm, one 10mm, and it slides right out. But it runs great. Lonnie, do you remember how this thing ran?
Yeah, garbage.
Yeah, and it's beautiful now. It's crazy how good it shifts. It fixed so many problems with this old crust bucket. It's insane. So tires are extremely bald on the back, but we're gonna ride it around our trails here at our property. So
it's been raining for 2 days, so
good luck to us. Yeah. So we're gonna lock the hubs in. Lonnie, you do your side, and wish us luck, baby.
we're good. Dialed in quickly. other side's even worse. Like, you're dug.
Well, that ended badly. We figured
We got
something.
get the GoPro off so they can see how stuck you are. We're against the tree on this side with against the tree in the back.
Yeah, it's
It slid against the tree and really got us in a picture. So we're right here with this tree.
it's like crazy slick out here.
There's no room under the
For
frame.
nothing.
This tire's dug a nice little pit for itself.
Then we was trying a traction maneuver of shoving one of these old tires under it. Didn't work. Up it.
Did not work. And then you can't go backwards even if you could get out of those holes because there's a tree right here.
Back tires are completely slick. Front tires are pretty much packed full of mud, so they're slick at this point.
Yep.
So
We knew we'd get stuck. We didn't know it'd be this quick. I mean, it pulled that hill pretty good though.
yeah, I mean, we had to get a little running start. Go show them the dent in the bed. Let's see.
It's a good one. I can't see what you guys are seeing, but it's hard to see on video. He hit a tree though. It's a good dent. Dragon frame, baby.
All right. Well, time to call Becca. I'm not bringing my new Ford down here, that's for sure.
No.
Brandon has a Comanche, which most of you guys remember it from the channel. He has a winch on and stuff. This ground is super slippery though.
Soppy, slippery, sloppy,
Slimy mess.
with leaves everywhere. That's why we were sliding so much. The leaves get slick.
I forgot about this little hill here, and I couldn't get a lot of speed because look at the distance between those two trees.
It's the distance of the truck.
Yeah,
basically.
like we almost slapped the mirror. But you can see this dent. Well, you might not be able to tell, but there's a dent here from where we four-wheeled a long time ago. This mirror has been hit just like Lonnie just got hit. So it dented the door.
I wonder if it dented the door over here.
It
You
broke
smacked
that
it
corner
pretty
light
good.
when I'd hit that other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that we got some nothing little tape won't fix.
That was fun though. A fun 1 minute.
Yeah, if we're gonna get some new tires for this truck very soon. We're gonna build steel front and rear bumpers for it
With a winch.
with a winch, so we can get ourselves out. But time to call Miss Redbeard and go pick up some tires for a good truck.
So this was supposed to kill time before our wheels for the go-kart were done. They were done before we started.
Yeah, when we was at the gate, when me and Lonnie was at the bottom, he was like, "You sure we're gonna get out of here?" And I was like, "Yeah, we'll get out of here." In the back of my head, I was like, "We ain't getting out of there."
There ain't no way.
Cut through a street.
When you have to explain to your wife why you've destroyed your truck.
You know, and then,
This old Ford's taking a beating.
yeah, yeah, it's
Whenever
actually
the Ford saw you pull up and was like, "Hey, you want me to take this old Ford back?" It was probably like, "Gosh, dang it! I had a nice cushy life doing nothing."
yeah, this truck was like, "I do not want to go with him."
Please no.
I'm not trying to. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to destroy the truck. Like, yeah, it sucks to dent a bedside, but look at the truck. It's
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, that ain't no big deal. The grill's already been busted up, so that corner light is no.
And there were so many dents in this thing before.
Yeah. This adds more character to it.
Yeah,
I mean, we're gonna remember this day for at least a week.
at least.
At least, stop.
This trail's awesome though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fill this back in. Imagine coming around hauling. Swing you into that tree. We got to get all these tires up too. There's a ton of trash in here. There's old basketball goal like water tank sitting up there. A ton of tires. There's probably 20, 25 tires in here. It's like the dude on the side.
Yeah. There's 3 there, 4 there,
Trash.
1 there, 4 there, 3 here.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
That's just turning. I didn't go 1 step in any direction. I just
Found that one
turned.
in the weeds.
The more we walk around this trail, the more rich you get.
I'm rich and stuff. There's like multiple tires out there.
Stuff and things you have.
Of no, cash value.
But they're there.
They're there. Stuff value. Anybody need molded hay?
It's good for horses that you want to kill.
If you want your horse to die, come to me. We'll figure it out.
There's the old garage looking good.
Oh yeah.
It's on its way to being done. It looks so much bigger now that you've closed it off. Like now you can see how big the shop actually is.
Yeah, and we're completely out of money.
And not done.
Like, no joke either. Sometimes I joke about bankruptcy and stuff because that's just good fun. But we are officially garage fund. We bought.
And what percentage do you think you are done with it?
Once I
75?
put the parts on the ground, 75. Yeah, the office will not be done. We're gonna have to basically box in this wall, waterproof it until we get more cash to finish the office, which is a big downer. That sucks because we thought we had enough. $35,000.
But before you even started building it, you're like, that'll come later. I'll have my office in my RV, so you can still do that plan.
Yeah, we can.
You had a backup plan.
Well, we're building an engine room too.
Plan Bs are always a good thing.
Yeah, we're having that engine room. I can put my office in the engine room for now.
Shut up.
Okay. Well, guys, I thought I would film this whole little process of fixing that old truck. I'm actually pretty much just going to drive that old truck. That'll be my daily driver all the time now to keep wear and tear off my new Ford. I really thought about selling my new Ford because I love an old beater, just because you don't have to worry about it. But it is really nice having a dependable truck when we got to go like a state over and pick up a vehicle or something. So I got the battery off the truck, charging it, because I never fully charged it from cranking on it when we was working on it. And the neighbor, Ed, shout out to Ed. We got an awesome neighbor a couple houses down who brought his four-wheel drive Kubota up. We cut the tree down that was directly behind my bumper and pulled the truck out backwards, and it came out of the trail perfectly fine. Basically, if we could have got enough steam to get up, like those two trees was really close to the sides of my truck. I didn't want to cram the side of my truck in one of them. So if we would have had enough speed, we would have got up that little hill. It's just, it kind of walked me over towards that tree. And we got stuck, but hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's a little different. It was nice to go just play with Lonnie on a rainy day and you know, just have fun. We haven't done that in a while, and we need to get back to doing stuff like that. We stay so crazy busy in this shop. I mean, no one understands how much work goes into putting 8 to 10 videos out a month. We're at our breaking point right now. I'm telling you, it is super stressful trying to get all these videos, and especially being a one-man show pretty much. You know, Lonnie's working all the time. Braxton's got baseball, and by the time Braxton's done, you know, I'm done for the day. My kids deserves my time just as much as anything else, more than anything else. So it's really hard to get good content out right now, guys, because of the stress with the whole garage. So bear with us. You know I've been asking that last few weeks, or months actually, but we're getting back on this buggy. We got that 300 ATV engine. We got all kinds of awesome stuff. It's just I really can't get into nothing big right now because of how much work is having to go into that shop. So thank you guys so much for supporting us and watching the videos. We truly appreciate it more than you'll ever know. And please share and like these videos. Check us out on Roku. We are getting some quirks or some quirks fixed with Roku. Some people said there's way too many ads. It's not up to us how many ads get put on there, and we do apologize for it. We are getting that worked on. Trying to take out a ton of those ads. There's way too many right now, and it's embarrassing for us, so we'll get that worked out, guys. Just bear with us. But again, as always, check out Go Power Sports. We used it's funny, it's a truck, but we use those upper A-arms off of 150 for that roof rack mount, and I will show you how that works in the next video on this 150. We actually installed a set of Trailmaster MB200 stock shocks on that roof rack. I'll show you that in the next video. And there's also some 3-hole gussets on that roof rack. That was the first thing I ever used 3-hole gussets on. So shout out to Go Power Sports for the parts used on Nova Ford. But thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the long video, but hope you guys enjoy it. We love you, and God bless.